welcome to PlayMaker. This is still very much beta, alpha, pre-alpha working here. My entire goal was to build a game engine on the browser that doesn't require any kind of coding or any kind of know-how or anything like that. There is a tutorial built in that I'm working on right now to get that tightened up and ready to go. But this program that you see here, or this website that you see here, will be available on the desktop via Steam. That is my ultimate. It's my ultimate goal, is adding this to Steam so people can play it. It's going to be under early access because, like I said, this is super alpha, and the idea is to get as many bugs reported as possible so I can make this ironclad. So, just kind of going through everything here. We have entities, which gives you a player block, terrain, which gives you terrain blocks. Let me zoom in here a little bit, which you can kind of click here and create little terrain. And then we have an enemy that we can click here, and this is the scope or cone of visibility. So wherever this cone is, if my player character gets involved in that cone, the enemy will start reacting to you. We have pickups here, which we can assign to like different graphics at like coin stars, whatever, depending on whatever your 2D platformer game is looking for. We have hazards, which is kind of like you hit, you die, game over. These could be spikes, these could be whatever you want. Then we have our goal, which like for instance, Sonic the Hedgehog, when you run into that little spinny banner thing, you end. So we have the same thing here. So if you hit that goal, it ends the level. You have your checkpoints, which if you go past and you die, it takes you back to that checkpoint. We have decorations, which is visual elements with no collision. So this is kind of something that you can have like a pot or pan or whatever and kind of run through it. These are going to be phased out. We're not going to be using these anymore because I'll show you a little bit later on what I mean by that. We have a whole different part of this editor that allows you to create custom levels, so you don't need to worry about decorations. And then we have triggers. Now these are pretty cool. These triggers, you can do anything with these. For right now, I have it turned to music. So we have trigger audio music, so that's the trigger, that's the tags. It's once per entry right now, so when you run into it, it'll play the song and play it till it ends. And then if you run back into it, it'll trigger again. And then you have loop until exit. So what this is essentially is you walk into the trigger, which is here. If you stay there, the track or sound effect will play. And then once you leave, it'll fade out and go away. And then you have play once, never repeat. So you hit it once, plays once, never plays again. And then you have a loop here, like if you go into a boss fight and you have some background music you want to play, you can hit this and it'll keep playing in the background for you. So that's essentially that in a nutshell. Let me just get rid of all of these here so I kind of give you a breakdown of what's going on. So we have here our player model. Now our player entity, I should rather say, you can see here on the right hand side that there's a list of all these entities. Now what I'm planning on doing in the future is having folders here where you can just go in and kind of classify, organize it yourself. This is for level 1, this is for level 2, or this is for stage 1, stage 2, whatever, and you can kind of go through there. Now if you click on each one of these, you can see that there's like an inspector, which you can pretty much edit everything you want. This default facing doesn't belong here, it's just here because of this player thing right here. Now when you click on player, what I've added is a cool new thing that really nobody has. If you can see up here, there's like a character that's grayed out. We're going to get to that in a quick second. But what I need to do is I need to add some assets into my canvas, my editor. So once I go here into assets, you can see that there's an asset library, right? We have sprites, we have tiles, we have backgrounds, we have themes, we have audio. But what I want to do is I want to upload sprites for my little guy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to import asset. And a window is going to pop up that you guys don't see, but I see. And I'm going to click on one of the idle animations here, which is this. This is provided by Itch.io for free. I will have the links to all of this stuff that you can download for free to for yourself in the description. So what I'm going to do is it says import image. This popped up. It says here's the name, it's idle 2, and the background. It said it auto detected as a background, and the reason why it auto detected as a background is because the length is really long. But that's okay, it's not a background, it's an animated sprite, because each of these are frames, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on animated sprite. I'm going to click on next. Now here you can leave the name as it is. Here you want to create a folder. Now these folders are going to be represented of your character. So like say you have a whole bunch of animations that aren't on a single sheet, they're just like what I have, they're separated between each action. So what you're going to do is you want to create a new folder. So I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to click on hero, or type in hero rather, and then it says grid width and grid height. Now this is something I try to automate as best as possible, but there's so much I can do. Maybe in the future, maybe once I translate this into an actual program on your computer, I'll have a lot more resources to deal with. Right now I don't have that many resources because every web browser is limited. So what I like to do is I like to check the height here. So the height is 128. Now not every single asset's gonna be like this. A lot of them are gonna be weird and strange. Make sure when you download your assets, you look inside the folder that they gave you and see what they recommend to set your width and height at. So what I'm going to do here is, I know this for sure already, is they're squares. So I'm going to do 128 and 128. Now what it had done, it already picked up that there's 11 frames. Cool. So now we're going to go to define animations. Now I understand you can't see any of these right now, but these are kind of showing you each animation frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to hit add animations. Now it's going to say define animations 11 frames. I'm going to get okay, cool, add sprite sheet. So now I have a new folder here called hero. So if I click on hero, I can see that an animation file came in. So what do I apply? How do I apply this? So we have two steps that we need to do in order to do that. So we're going to go down here. We're going to go to where it says character. We're going to click on hero. Remember when I said that the folder acts like the character? So we go ahead and click on hero. And then we're going to click on idle. Now this is your base animation. Whatever your guy does when he's not moving or not doing anything, this is what you want to select. So I'm going to click on idle 11 frames. Cool. So now if you look here, you can see that there's a little dude here. Cool. Problem is, if you look to the right, it says size 32 by 32. Now these are pixels. Now if you remember, inside of the animation sheet, I made it 128 by 128. So let's do that here. 128 by 128. And look, there's my little guy right there. Let's just zoom in, kind of get a better look here. Hey, he's just chilling. Cool, right? Okay, so what I need to do is I need to add more animations to this to kind of fill him out so he, acts and reacts like he's supposed to. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to import asset, and I'm going to click on, let's see here. I'm going to click on jump. We're going to bring in the jump here. Now if you look, you can see how the animation goes up and goes down, and I'm going to make sure I click on animated sprite for this. Click on next. Now it automatically detected it as 128 by 128. Great. I don't have to do much work other than going into the folder and making sure that hero is selected. Next, I go to define animations. I'm going to click on select all, and I'm going to type in jump here just for my own records. I'm going to add animation and then add sprite sheet. And, oh, look at that. There's jump right there. Perfect. So, let's import another one. Let's import run. I'm going to go ahead and import the run animation here. And click on animated sprite. Click on next. Go to hero. And again, it already picked it up. That's 128 by 128. Perfect. Let's define the animations. Make sure I type in run here. Click on select all. Add animation. Add sprite sheet. And boom, there he is right here. So now you're like, all right, what did you do all of that for? What's the whole point? Well, here's the cool thing. If you go ahead and double click on your character, you get this cool thing, which kind of shows you the animation. So for idle, I'm going to click on idle 2 here. So he has idle for here. For run, I'm going to go ahead and select run. And then for jump, I'm going to select jump. Now, if I click on run, you'll see the run animation. If you click on jump, you see the jump animation, right? So it's showing you what these animations look like. Now, if you see this up here where it says default facing, this kind of asks you which way is your character facing. Now, the reason why we ask this, and I found out this to be hard, we can't have the system automatically understand what the character is doing or where he's facing, but we ask you. So if he's facing right, you're going to go ahead and click on facing right. So when you move your guy right, he runs right. When you press left and he runs left, it'll flip it horizontally for you, so you don't have to do that manually later on. So let's go back to the editor. Now I want to add a couple more assets here. I want to go ahead and add the shooting animation, and it's called shot here. I don't know. I'm not the one who made it. So animated sprite. Click on next. This only got it at 32 by 32. No worries. We'll change that to 128 by 128. Go ahead and put that into hero and define it. Put that as shot. And then click select all and add animations and then add sprite sheet. Now, if we go back into here where it says shot, you can go ahead and click on shot and see what that animation looks like. So now you can see how the animation goes. Now, the reason I did this is here you can see where it says projectile origin. Now, what I want to do is I want to drag this little guy here and put him right there. That's where the projectile is going to be firing out of from the gun. Now, every animation is different. Every character is going to be different. Some, graphics will have the gun go up and down. That'll be added later. It's really hard to kind of include that unless you have reference animations for that. I don't, so I just have this for right now. This is kind of like just a quick showcase. So this is what we have right now, and this is what we're going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on editor, and I can see my guy just chilling here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on play and see what happens. So there's my guy. He's just doing his thing. Now if I run right, you can see he runs right. But if I run left, you can see that he goes back and forth. You see how that works? And the best thing about this too is whatever direction your character stops at, that's where the idle animation will freeze. So it doesn't always revert back to this. It'll revert back to this. I also have the jump animation going, as you can see, and I have my little fire animation as well. So we have these going, okay? See how easy that was? Super simple, super quick. I have my own little custom guy, which, he doesn't have directional shooting animations. That's fine, but you do have directional shooting with wherever your mouse goes. It is 8 directions right now. I don't have the ability to make it a full, smooth 360 yet. I am working on it, but we're getting close, okay? So here's my little guy. But, this background kind of seems blah. And I'm running on a gray block. What is this? All right, so let's go ahead and mess around with the different options that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete these terrain entities because we don't need them anymore. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to click this little paintbrush on the top. Now, when you click on this little paintbrush, you're put into the tile map paint workspace. Now, I try to model this as best as possible to what Unreal Engine has. Because I'm used to Unreal Engine. I've used Unreal Engine in the past for making 2D games. I know that's like crazy. People are like, why would you do that? Unity's better. I was used to Unreal Engine at the time, and I thought that, since I know it so well, I could just continue making it. So here's our little canvas here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of these tile sets here. And as you can see, we have our tile sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting here. And when I mean paint, I literally mean paint. So I'm going to click on a block, and then I'm going to click on here to kind of continue it, and then drag this over. Oops. Go ahead and delete those. Now, if you look over here too, you can see that there is a little guide here to kind of tell you what to do. So left click is drag paint tile, right click is to erase. So you can just quickly erase something, so you don't need anything. We do have hotkeys, so E is for erase, V is for placing. You can see it change up here. You also have sizes for your erase tool. I'm going to have also sizes for your painter tool as well. And you can, if you right click, you can erase as well. Space is, and drag, so if you click and drag, you can pan around, and then scroll is zoom in and out. Pretty easy, I think. So here we have background image. So what I would like to do is I would like to add a background image. Now it comes with 2. These were already added. I added them into the website itself. So this is available for everybody, not just me. I'm going to click on here. It's not going to show here. This is a bug. It's something I'm working on. But if you go back to the level editor, you can see that it's right here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the painter tool. I'm gonna paint some levels here. So let me go ahead and get this ready. You guys can just sit in the background and watch me do this. I'll probably speed this up for YouTube, but yeah. Kind of break up the monotony here a little bit. Oh, darn it. I hit the wrong button. Now the great thing about this is, now if you look over here, it says playable, foreground and background. That's right, you can have parallax background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to click on the background. As you can see, it kind of ghosted out. I'm going to add some things in the background. So I'm going to add, now these trees aren't complete. I downloaded this from kenny.nl, and like I said, I'll have all the links in the description for you guys to take a look at. I don't have all of this. I don't know if it's this. I mean, they kind of look the same, but at the same time, they're not really. I guess these would count, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and try to build us a tree here real quick. So I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna go up here and kind of build this. Oh, build this out here a little bit. That's not working out, but. Oh, I keep doing that like it's going to change something. Let's go ahead and cap this off now. Okay, cool. So, now, okay. I think that works, right? Yeah. That works. All right, let's go to the foreground. So now this is the front. So you have 3 layers now. You have your playable, which is what the platform is. You have your background, which your character will run in front of. Then you have the foreground, which your characters will run behind. I know it's a little complicated. You'll get used to it eventually. So let's add a sign here, sign here, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a platform. Let's go just add this here real quick. Floating platform. Okay. Now let's see what else we can add. I'm going to go ahead and just drop this down. And then I just realized I added all these to the background. Oopsies. Unfortunately, there's no way to really like erase anything or like move anything back, so I'm just gonna have to delete that and go back to playable. There we go. That's my mistake. We all make mistakes, it's fine. So I go ahead and add my little platform here. Well, hello, Miss Aminess. How are you? So drop this down, drop that down. Let's just add not knee breakers. Okay. Cool. Now I can go back to my foreground and add some little these guys. Some of that. Go in my background and add a little pine tree. And then you have like snowmen and stuff like that here, which I really don't need right now. Then pipes, which I'm never gonna use because it doesn't really work. Oh, these are like little mini platform guys here, I guess. Do this here. There you go. Get some platforming stuff in here, right? I realized again I am doing this in the wrong. I gotta stop doing that. All right. All right. I mean, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and click on Save Tile Map, and then we're gonna go back to Level Editor. Oh, it went out. Whoopsies. So you can see that our level kind of went out, like I said, very alpha. That's not supposed to be happening, but I usually kind of test outside of here. I usually test like up here, but I want to test at the bottom this time, and it looks like I went a little further down. So what we're gonna do is gonna change the height here to 5. No. I'm gonna go and expand this to get the bottom right there. Perfect. Okay. So it's now 36,000, which is fine. Which is actually true because these are 18 by 18 tiles, and that's what it should have been from the get-go. So we are. I don't know why it keeps doing that. That was meant to change. It didn't change. So I'm gonna grab my guy that's up here and I'm gonna bring him down here so he's right here. He might be a little big for this, but you know, that's okay. All right, so there he is. So now if I click on play, you can see now that I have this. Now these are all graphical issues that I'm planning on fixing in the future. But as you can see, he walks in front of the tree. He walks behind the little signs. You know what I mean? So we got that going for us, which is nice. Oh, he's getting blocked by here. I think I added that in the wrong spot. I did. Oh well. Yep, those two. And as you can see, yeah, look at him go. He's platforming. I made a platformer. So this background that's in the back, what I'm planning on doing is so this is really far behind on the Z, because the way 2D is kind of formed, you have your X and your Y, which is your 2D dimensions, your 2 dimensions. Then you have the Z. Now the Z isn't like discounted out because it's a 2D platformer. It still exists. It's just what your camera is pointed at. So what happened is when I was building this, I left the Z at a different 0, than how normal game engines work, and it's like really distant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the background really closer to the camera, so it zooms all the way in and you actually see the scale. Right now it's really, really far away. But yeah, so let's try and fix these little problems I have here that I made for myself. Go back to my painter tool here, and I'm on the other side. All right, so what did I mess up here? Huh. Alright, well these are the foreground. I don't know why I can step on them. I shouldn't be able to. Let's just erase them for right now. Okay, let's see what we can add. Oh yeah, we got some clouds here. and some numbers that we don't need for right now. I can add water, so I can do like a little water graphic here. Oh, I can exchange them so they look different. That's neato burrito. Or I guess one's more choppier than the other. I don't know. There you go. Alright. And I made that into what, the foreground? I did. So go ahead and save. Go back to level editor. And yeah, there you go. Let's hit play. And there's my floating water. Look at that. So yeah. I mean, hey, I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, these graphical issues, I can go ahead and try and fix here. So let me do this. Let's pull up the zoom. Let's go to 2.5. Now these are camera settings, so you can kind of zoom in your camera as well. You can do smoothing, lower value, smoother camera. So I can make this down to 0.01. So I can do look ahead as well. So whatever direction your character is running, the camera will kind of shift that direction, kind of give you a little more thing there. We can do like a dead zone type of thing. So wherever there's a dead area, the camera will keep going. We don't need to do that right now. Let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, this looks much better. So yeah, so as you can see, like the camera's kind of like sluggish because I put the smoothing on really high. So what this does is it kind of gives you like that anticipation or that anxiety, like am I going to make the next jump? You know what I mean? So it's actually really pretty cool. So let's just speed that up, smoothing up here a little bit. Let's go to 50, 4.5. Oh, that's really quick. So now it's just like snapping. You know what I mean? Oh, whoa. Down to 0.10. I think that was a better one. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all I have to show for right now. I mean, I guess I could show you the. I don't have the music captured on this. Let me do that real quick. Let me just add music capture to the browser. Show you how the triggers work for right now, because this is all I really have. I don't have everything ready for that. So let me go ahead and pause my music here real quick. Okay, so now if I go down here and I zoom in and I click on my trigger and I add a little trigger here. So automatically this is invisible. You'd have to select this to make it visible, but we don't want that. So we're going to click on my first song, and then I'm going to do once per entry. And then so if I hit play, it's loading the asset because it's loading the song in the background. So give it a second. All right, here we go. So, oh, it's not picking it up. Yeah, now you can hear it, right? Lower that here real quick. So now I can hear the song. So the other things here, if I just click on trigger, I can do loop until exit and click on play. Again, I'm just going to load this here real quick. This is going to get a lot faster. I'm going to have everything cached into the browser or the program once that's ready. So I start playing. I jump out of it. It goes away. Jump out of it and it stops. So now what the idea that for that is, like if you have like an animation where your character runs up to a cliff and it kind of has an animation of it zooming out and like showing you the whole scene, you can do stuff like that. And you're probably thinking to yourself like, how is that possible? Well, that's all going to be possible because we have these things called scenes here. So you can add a scene into your editor here. Now, what this means is you can build essentially an entire level or like a game through your scene. So like if it comes to one scene, you add a trigger and you can just like kind of teleport into like a dungeon or stuff like that. Or if you kill a boss, you can go into the next scene. So we'll have these different scenes where you can kind of like animate yourself into certain areas. But let's go ahead and finish up one of the other triggers. So this is play once, never repeat. So it'll play the entire track and then no matter if you run back into the trigger or not, it won't play again. Loop will just keep going. So if you have like boss music going, it'll do that. So the idea is like when you run into like a boss battle and you run into that area, it just starts playing that song and you start going nuts with it. All right. And that's pretty much it for PlayMaker for right now. I have a lot of, like I said, a crap ton of work. This was pretty hard. It was adding the enemies. Now I enraged, or if you go to hard or elite, this advanced section will pop up, which you can add like move speed. So I want to do like a 3 move speed because I don't want him like ripping into me. You have patrol range, which you know, where he kind of like walks around. You have your sight range, which is how far this cone extends. You have sight angle, so this kind of like narrows or widens the angle of this guy. So if I get into his cone, he starts firing at me, and you can see that he's moving as well. Oh, I got shotted and died. So let's just oh. So he sees me. Let's see if he'll actually jump or fall through the crack. Oh, he fell. Oopsies. All right, so he's too slow, so let's fix that. So we'll click on enemy here. Let's go to advanced. He's way too slow, so let's give him 25 speed. Let's go ahead and make him aggressiveness. Let's give him no. I want to give him enraged. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I want to change the music. Darn it. All right, whatever. It's fine. So if I get close to buddy, there you go. Now he starts firing at me like crazy, like a madman, and I died again. Damn it. I can change my player's health as well. So if I click on hero, my HP is 3. Let's give me 25. Let's go to trigger, and I want my song to be playing in the background like crazy. So once per entry, let's go ahead and hit play. All right. Let's go, buddy. What you got? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, he's too small. I can't shoot him. Oh, no. Ah. He's too small. I can't shoot him. Oh, I got him. I just got to jump and fire. Got him. Cool. All right, so let's go back to my enemy here, and let me put him to 0 on advanced. I'm going to do automatic, and we're going to see what happens. But what I also want to do is I also want to see his cone and expand this just a tad. So if I do 350, there we go. That's where I want him. All right, so let's check it out here real quick, see what happens. Get the music going. Oh, oh. So he can't make this jump, so that's why he stopped. But if you notice, he did make it over there. And I can fix that here real quick. Let me just take care of him. So this would be like for a boss battle, you know what I mean? So you're like fighting a really hard guy. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this level just a tad bit. Let's give him more room to kind of move around. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that real quick and extend him out to here. Then we'll click on save and go back. And I see him here, so I'm going to move him here, and I'm going to make him just I'm going to make him 36 by 36. There we go. So he's a little bigger, so my bullets will actually hit him. So let's go ahead and actually one more thing. I want to make him super fast chase. All right, let's go. So he's going to come into me now. Oh, oh God. Oh, we're fighting. It's the duel of the fates. Oh, he killed himself. Rest in peace, buddy. I knew ye. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Trying, trying hard. Let me just go ahead and add a checkpoint here real quick. So when I hit that guy, I'm gonna have him kill me and see what happens. So there's my checkpoint. Got that. Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, oh, oh. See if I just. There we go. So I do have a checkpoint. Game's not over yet, baby. Ah, I fell. Got him. There you go. That's my game. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to offer here. Like I said, it's still very much a work in progress. I have a lot of work I still need to do before I even think about releasing this to the public. But this is just a public showcase of, of what I've been working on for the past 3 to 4 months. I have, like I said, tons of work. But yeah, that's it for right now.